This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
"6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. No decision to reverse the ban on chemical fertilizer. 1,403 families affected by the bad weather patterns. The water levels of several rivers have increased. There is a risk of the spreading of the Zika virus in the country. The media minister says that the government has confirmed the right of expression. Sydney tightens antivirus measures. There is a risk of floods and landslides in several areas due to the existing bad weather patterns in the island. The people in the Nuwara Eliya, Kandy, Colombo, Ratnapura, Galle and Kilinochia areas will be affected by the inclement weather. So far, 1,403 families have been affected. The Disaster Management Centre said that one house was partly damaged and 142 houses were fully damaged. The landslide warning alert has been issued for the Paduka area of the Colombo district. The National Building Research Institute has also issued warning alerts to the Galle, Alpitia and Nelluva areas. Meanwhile, the water levels of the Kalani Ganga has also risen. A high water level was shown in the Kaluganga, the Magura and Millakanda areas. A minor flood level situation has occurred in the Ratnapura area. Consultant paediatrician of the Lady Ridgeway Hospital for Children, Dr. Deepal Pereira, said, Sri Lankans should be vigilant of inbound visitors from India who are infected with the Zika virus, as there are many possibilities that the virus could spread among the locals. He said that the health authorities in the Indian state of Kerala have declared a state of alert recently in all the districts after having detected 14 cases of the Zika virus. The Zika virus is primarily transmitted by the bite of an infected mosquito from the Aedes genus, which are active during the day. The Aedes genus of mosquitoes originally found in the tropical and subtropical zones, and after a bite, the symptoms after getting infected with the Zika too are generally a mild fever, a rash, conjunctivitis, muscle and joint pain, fatigue or headaches. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank, celebrating 60 years of empowering the nation.
Minister Kehelia Rambukvalla says that the right to express views and dialogues has been confirmed under the present government. But freedom and law should not be confused. Freedom should be implemented within the framework of the law, and the government has a responsibility to safeguard the law. He also states that the government is implementing the law while confirming the freedom. He made these remarks participating at a COVID Eradication Committee meeting held in Kandy today. A Kapruka program to plant 4 million coconut saplings will be implemented island-wide from today. This national program was initiated by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa in Velikatiavatta, Chilau. Coconut saplings will be planted as a solution for the high demand of coconuts, and it has been identified as a foreign exchange income industry. Minister Arundhika Fernando said that several new projects will be implemented to provide the supply according to demand. That's local news.
Towards a new dimension in innovation, People's Bank, celebrating 60 years of empowering the nation.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Issuing a communique, Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa has emphasised that the reports published on social media that the government has given permission to import chemical fertilisers are completely false. It is an attempt to reverse the government's organic fertiliser move. Several fatal diseases such as kidney failure and cancer have been caused due to the usage of chemical fertiliser. The Minister of Agriculture Mahinda Anand Aluskamage said that there is no change on the ban of import of chemical fertiliser. This measure will be continued further. He also states that news published on some social media sites over the import of chemical fertiliser is utterly false. The Presidential Media Division said that the government has not given any such permission for the import of chemical fertilisers. The decision taken by the President to ban the import of chemical fertiliser and to propagate organic fertiliser is implemented as it is.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And now in Watchlight, passengers complain that the public transport services are operating buses violating the health guidelines issued by the health sector in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. Although the health sector has advised to take passengers according to the seating capacity, the bus employees take more passengers ignoring the health guidelines. They point out that the relevant authorities should pay more attention in this regard. This is for the attention of the chairman of the Commuter Transport Authority and came to you in Watchlight. And now, for world news headlines. Sydney tightens antivirus measures. Fully jabbed NHS staff may not have to isolate. The Indian Prime Minister has a phone call with his Vietnamese counterpart, Pha My Chi. The authorities in Australia's largest city, Sydney, have tightened measures against the coronavirus amid the spread of the Delta variant. The first case of the highly infectious variant first detected in India was confirmed in Sydney last month. That has led to an outbreak of the coronavirus across the state of New South Wales, where Sydney is located. Yesterday, 44 new cases were reported in the southeastern state. Lockdown measures in Sydney were due to end yesterday but have been extended for another week through July 16th. Ministers are considering exempting fully vaccinated NHS staff in England from having to self-isolate if they are traced as a COVID contact. Health bosses have been urging the government to change rules amid fears of staff shortages. Sources said no decision had been taken and ministers wanted to see evidence the move would be safe. If it goes ahead, self-isolation would be replaced with daily tests from 19th of July when wider curbs are eased. The idea echoes a similar policy that would apply to all fully vaccinated people and children in England from the 16th of August. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a phone call today with his Vietnamese counterpart Pha My Chi. Mr. Modi congratulated Pha My Chi on his appointment as the Prime Minister of Vietnam and expressed confidence that the India-Vietnam Comprehensive Strategic Partnership will continue to become stronger under his able guidance. Prime Minister Modi welcomed the fact that both countries share a similar vision of an open, inclusive, peaceful and rule-based Indian Ocean region. And now the main points of the World News segment once again. Sydney tightens antivirus measures. Fully jabbed NHS staff may not have to isolate. The Indian Prime Minister has a phone call with his Vietnamese counterpart Pha My Chi. That was World News.
Development News is brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melva RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melva RB500, number one in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
The Dambe-Pitya tank will be reconstructed under the Vari Saubhagya National Programme by the Irrigation Department. 5.5 million rupees will be spent for the project. During this year, 1,000 tanks are to be reconstructed.
Development News was brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melva RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melva RB500, number one in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
And now in sports news, a Sri Lankan player Sadun Virakodi from the Alternative Limited Overs squad and Biobubble in Colombo, which was training as a backup for the India series, has tested positive for COVID-19. This comes as another setback for the Sri Lankan setup because the first choice squad to take on India had already been hit by 2 COVID-19 cases this week, batting coach Grant Flower and team analyst GT Niroshan. The player who tested positive today was staying with the alternative group at a hotel in Colombo. The visiting India squad is staying at a different hotel. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka cricket announces that the India-Sri Lanka series, which was to start on the 13th of this month, will now be held from the 18th till the 29th. Sri Lanka Cricket, in consultation with the Board of Control for Cricket in India, decided to reschedule the dates of the ODI and T20I series. The move is aimed at providing more time for the Sri Lanka national players and the support staff to complete required health protocols before getting onto the field, following the detection of 2 members of the national squad as COVID positive. That was sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The director of the National Entrepreneurs Development Authority, Sunil Jayaratna, said that several projects will be implemented with the Ministry of Industries to encourage entrepreneurs. They will be directed for new innovations under the skills of university scholars. Plans have also been made to provide financial aid for small and medium-scale ventures. Entrepreneurs will be encouraged to produce high-quality products for exports while limiting imports.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Asian Development Bank has approved a loan of $150 million for Sri Lanka to purchase COVID-19 vaccines and to improve vaccination information, delivery and monitoring systems. The project is part of ADB's $9 billion Asia-Pacific Vaccine Access Facility launched last December to offer rapid and equitable vaccine-related support to its developing member countries. The Philippine-based regional bank said the loan will help finance the purchase of safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines to immunize about 4 million Sri Lankans, contributing to the government's target to reach 80% vaccine coverage by 2023.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces NanaSir, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western, central, Sabaragamuwa, northwestern and southern provinces. Heavy showers about 100 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa province and in the Kandy, Nuwara Gala and Matara districts. A few showers will occur at the northern province. Strong gusty winds up to 60 kilometers per hour are likely at times of the western slopes of the central hills, and gusty winds up to 50 kilometers per hour at times are likely in the northern, north central, northwestern, western and southern provinces and in the Trincomalee district too.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces NanaSir, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. No decision to reverse the ban on chemical fertilizer. 1,403 families affected by the bad weather patterns. The water levels of several rivers have increased. There is a risk of the spreading of the Zika virus in the country. The media minister says that the government has confirmed the right of expression. Sydney tightens antivirus measures. That concludes this news broadcast.